Your person finds your confidence irresistibly attractive. It's not just the surface-level self-assurance that draws them in, it's the way you carry yourself with quiet strength and unwavering purpose. There's a presence about you, a grounded energy that commands attention without asking for it. They've noticed, and though they've never said a word, they admire you deeply. There's something about the way you move through the world unapologetically and authentically that makes them want to be more like you. They'd never openly admit it, not to you, maybe not even to themselves, but they observe. Silently. Constantly. Over time, they've watched you evolve. You've gone through changes, subtle at first, but now impossible to ignore. The version of you that once may have accepted less than you deserved is gone. You no longer take disrespect, excuses, or mistreatment from anyone. You've drawn your boundaries, firm and clear, and now you move through life with a kind of calm defiance, unbothered, untethered, free. It's something they've never quite mastered, but witnessing your transformation has awakened something within them. It's as if you've become the mirror reflecting all the ways they could grow, and it both inspires and unnerves them. They admire your ability to walk alone. You don't chase. You don't beg. You don't linger where you aren't valued. There's a quiet power in your solitude, a grace in your independence, and it calls to them. They're used to people who cling, who crumble, who follow, but you stand alone, and still shine. They've learned from that. You've taught them more through your actions than any words ever could. Your emotional balance, the way you protect your peace, the way you choose yourself over chaos, it's magnetic. They find themselves drawn to your energy without knowing why, as if your soul has become a compass pulling them in. They see that you've freed yourself from the toxic cycles you once found yourself trapped in. The patterns, the unhealthy attachments, the emotional loops, you've broken them all. And in doing so, you've become more detached, not cold, but discerning. You no longer give your energy where it isn't reciprocated, and that evolution hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, it's one of the things that pulls at their heart the most. That detachment of yours, that calm distance, it makes them want to bridge the gap. There's a quiet urgency within them now, a growing desire to be closer to you, to get to know this new version of you that's even more radiant and self-assured. Whether they admit it or not, they're receiving signs, subtle nudges from the universe, dreams, moments of synchronicity, that keep pointing them back to you. It's as if life is telling them, this is your moment, don't waste it. They're feeling that pull stronger than ever. They want to experience you not just in passing, not just through memory or imagination, but fully, physically, presently. They want to stand beside you and see if there's still a place for them in your life, even if it's just for a chance to prove they've changed. And the truth is, they have changed, or at least, they're trying to. Something in your growth has sparked a shift in them too. You may not see it yet, or believe it, and perhaps they don't even fully know how to express it, but they're not the same toxic person they once were. They know they made mistakes, and they know they might not deserve another chance, but something inside them is hopeful. They believe, maybe for the first time in a long time, that people can grow, that healing is real, and that love can transform. They're eager to show you this version of themselves, the one who's been shaped in part by watching you rise. They want you to see the changes they've made, not because they expect forgiveness, but because they want to meet you at your level, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. They're not looking to drag you backward or dim your light. They want to match your strength, to walk beside you, not behind you. Still, a part of them worries that it might be too late, that you've outgrown any connection that once existed between you. But that doesn't stop the feeling, the ache in their chest, the hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll see that they're no longer the same. They're learning what it means to love in a healthy way, to show up without ego, to honor another person's growth without feeling threatened by it. And in you, they see what's possible when someone truly chooses themselves. So here they are, quietly hoping for a chance, not for who you were, but for who you are now. Because the truth is, they don't just admire you, they're drawn to you, captivated by you, and in more ways than they can articulate, changed by you. I've come to realize that I am, at my core, a very sensitive person. I may not always show it, but I feel things deeply. Small gestures, subtle words, and even silence can affect me in ways I can't always explain. When there's distance between us, when we stop communicating, it hurts me more than I can express. I miss your messages, your calls, the warmth of your presence, even if it's just through a screen. Those little moments of connection meant the world to me. They were more than just routine, they were a part of my emotional stability, something I held on to when everything else felt chaotic. I know we've drifted, and that's something that weighs heavily on my heart. I keep thinking about how important it is for us to open up to one another, to talk honestly, without fear, without ego, because I believe that only through open communication can we move forward. Our connection is too precious to be buried under silence or misunderstanding. You are someone who means the absolute world to me. Yet, tragically, I feel like I've messed things up. I feel like I've damaged something beautiful, something that was given to me so generously by you, and now all I'm left with is guilt and regret. There's a constant heaviness in my chest, an aching guilt and a stream of insecurities that I just can't seem to shake off. I want to be free of this burden, but it's not that simple. The past follows me everywhere. The mistakes I've made, the ways I've hurt you, they haunt me. It's like reliving a nightmare over and over, asking myself how I could have done the things I did. How could I be so blind, so unkind, so consumed by my own flaws that I couldn't see the pain I was causing? You are such a pure and loving soul. You gave so much without asking for anything in return. And yet, I was a wounded soul, one that didn't know how to love properly. I didn't understand what it meant to hold space for someone else's emotions, to nurture someone's heart with care and empathy. I was so caught up in my own world, my own problems, my selfish desires, and even materialistic distractions, that I failed to value the emotional depth you brought into our relationship. Looking back, I can see how I took your vulnerability for granted. Instead of meeting you where you were, instead of offering comfort or reciprocation, I often responded with coldness, indifference, or even rejection. I can't count the number of times I made you feel like you weren't enough, when in reality, you were more than enough, you were everything I needed but didn't know how to appreciate. It wasn't because I didn't love you. I did, and I still do. My love was never absent, but it was buried under layers of ego, fear, and emotional immaturity. I let my pride get in the way of truly connecting with you. I let my insecurities speak louder than my heart. I realize now that love isn't just about words or physical presence, it's about being emotionally available, being present in the quiet moments, and choosing each other even when things get difficult. I need your forgiveness. I know I don't have the right to demand it, and I won't pretend like saying sorry can erase the pain I've caused. But I'm asking for it sincerely, from the deepest part of my heart. I'm asking not just because I want peace, but because I want to heal, both myself and the bond we once shared. I need your love, not out of desperation, but because I've come to understand how healing your presence is. Your energy, your compassion, your light, your warmth, it's like a balm to the wounds I've carried within me for so long. You've always had this gentle way of reaching into the broken parts of me, offering grace instead of judgment, love instead of resentment. And now, more than ever, I realize how rare that is. I wish I had seen it sooner. I wish I had held on tighter, listened more, loved better. But all I can do now is take responsibility for what I've done and try to become the kind of person you deserve, someone who sees your heart clearly and never takes it for granted again. There's a lot of healing I still need to do, and I know that. But I also know that love, true, honest, and vulnerable love, has the power to heal. I don't expect you to forget the past, and I don't expect things to go back to how they were overnight. But I do hope, with time, patience, and effort, we can find our way back to each other. I hope we can rebuild, slowly, gently, but with intention. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for the love you gave, and even if you can't offer it again, thank you for showing me what real love feels like. I will carry that lesson with me forever. But if there is still a place for me in your heart, I promise I will do everything I can to make things right, not just in words, but in actions, every single day. Even in the silence between us, when no words are exchanged, I can still feel you. It's a quiet yet undeniable presence, like a soft vibration beneath the surface of my everyday life. I feel what you're going through, your emotions, your shifts, your struggles, and it's as if they echo through me, leaving ripples in places I didn't know existed. It's not something I fully understand, but I sense it deeply. There are times when I try to block it out, to distract myself or convince myself it's just in my head, but that never lasts. You always return to me in the still moments, when everything else fades into the background. It's like your energy follows me, whether I'm ready for it or not. Sleep offers no escape. Dreams, once rare and fragmented for me, now come more vividly, more persistently. For most of my life, I was never someone who remembered my dreams, at least not with any clarity. They were just hazy impressions that slipped away before the morning light. But when I started dreaming of you, everything changed. Your presence in my dreams is strong, almost more real than waking life. I would latch onto every detail, the sound of your voice, the way you looked at me, the feelings those dreams stirred, desperately trying to hold on to them as I woke. Those moments felt like messages from somewhere deeper than consciousness, and they left me stirred, shaken, sometimes even peaceful. That's when I knew something profound was shifting inside me. You've become a distraction in the most unexpected ways. Not in the shallow sense of being unable to focus, but in the sense that nothing feels quite the same when you're on my mind, which is almost all the time. When I'm with other people, even in good company, there's a subtle disconnection. I listen, I smile, I interact, but it's as if my thoughts are somewhere else, floating back to you, wandering through memories or imagined conversations. You've become the undercurrent to my days. It's not just attraction, it's deeper, more consuming. You are my divine feminine, the embodiment of something sacred, magnetic, and powerful. The way you move through the world, the way your energy holds structure and softness in perfect balance, it's unlike anything I've encountered before. No one does for me what you do. No one makes me feel as seen or as challenged, as inspired or as exposed. It's like being in two worlds, one that's ordinary and expected, and another where you exist, where everything feels amplified. Your presence in my life has opened something in me that I didn't even know needed unlocking. And yet, with all this intensity, I find myself caught in cycles I hate, pushing you away, pulling you back, repeating patterns I don't fully understand. I see myself doing it, and I still struggle to stop. It's fear, mostly. Not of you, but of what you represent, something raw, honest, and real. Something that requires me to show up fully and surrender control. I want to reach out to you. I want to open the door and keep it open, but sometimes when you speak to me bluntly, or when your tone shifts because you're upset, it stirs something in me. It's like an old wound flinching under pressure. I know it's not your fault. I know your honesty comes from a place of needing to be heard and understood, and yet something in me recoils, even when I don't want it to. Maybe it's shame, or guilt, or fear of disappointing you. Maybe it's all of those things tangled together. But when your words cut sharp either directly or at an angle, it sets off something inside me that makes me retreat, even when all I want is to stay close. And the thing is, I don't want to keep running. I don't want to keep repeating this painful loop. I want to be able to hold space for all of you, your joy, your sorrow, your anger, your beauty. I want to grow into the version of myself who can meet you where you are, without being thrown off course by emotion or ego. I want to be able to communicate with you without defensiveness, to respond instead of reacting. But growth takes time, and it's messy. I'm learning that transformation doesn't come from comfort. It comes from standing in the fire and choosing not to run. You are not just another person who came into my life. You are the mirror that shows me who I really am, even the parts one wish I could hide. And maybe that's why it hurts so much, because you matter. Because this connection matters. Because deep down, I know that what we have, what we've touched, is rare. So even in the silence, even in the distance, know this, I feel you. I think of you. I carry you in ways I can't always put into words. And no matter how lost I get in the cycles, a part of me is always trying to find its way back to you.